Hi guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the U.S. Well, I'm back with another monthly online card club. This is for February 2025, and I'm featuring the Memorable Blooms bundle from the Stampin' Up! January to April mini catalog. So the way this works, it's a monthly subscription. My members subscribe through PayPal. You do not have to have an account in order to do that. If you have an account, you just sign in and get... they'll start charging your card every month until you pause or cancel. Or you can do it as a guest. You don't have to set up an account. Just do it as a guest, give them your card information, and then PayPal will charge your card every month until you pause or cancel. So if you subscribe on the 5th, they'll keep charging your card on the 5th of the month until you subscribe, until you cancel or pause. Now, what they'll get this month, let me grab everything here. It's $43.50 a month. This month, they're going to get a full roll of the Daffodil 1/8 inch satin ribbon. This was actually not available last month. And I would have used this in last month's card, so now they're still going to get the ribbon because it still looks really good with this paper. They're also going to get the full pack, pretend like this is full, of the iridescent faceted gems. These are from the annual catalog. And I'm giving them a little bonus this month. I'm going to give them a bottle of the Tombow multi-purpose glue because this paper is Sale-A-Bration paper and it's free. So I had extra money to add to the kit. So I thought we use this multi-purpose glue all the time in club, so I want to make sure they had a bottle. They're also going to get the card kits to make 2 of each card, and I come up with 4 different cards. And I'm going to show you how to make the actual first card of the club here in just a minute, here after I show you everything. I do the embossing for them, and I also do any die cutting that's used with this die set that's not part of the featured bundle. If they, I give them the cardstock to do that, the die cutting used with the die set, the Memorable Blooms dies, but they'll have to do that die cutting for themselves. Now they have the option. That's what they get to the $43.50. Oh, I haven't shown you the paper yet. My goodness, we got to see this paper. This is the Bloom Impressions DSP. So we've got this. Okay, so we've got this one. These are the 2. This is one side. That's the other side. So they'll get a half pack. So they're 6x12 sheets. Then we've got this one. So that's one side, and there's the other side. Isn't this paper gorgeous? I love it. And I don't think it's available right now, but thankfully I got a bunch of them here because I knew I was going to need them, so I was stockpiling them a little bit for club. So I've got enough for my club members plus some extra ones for people that join this month. Then we've got this. And then this one. And last but not least, both sides of that one. So for their $43.50 this month, that's a half pack of the Bloom Impressions DSP. The card kits to make 2 each of the 4 cards, so they make 8 cards every month. A full pack of the iridescent faceted gems. A full roll of the Daffodil 1/8 inch satin ribbon. And because the paper was free, they're going to get a bottle of the multipurpose glue that we use all the time in club. We'll even use it here on some of the cards. I don't think today's card, but on some of the other cards in club this month, they'll be using it. So that's for their $43.50. Now they have the option of using a bundle or a stamp set or whatever they have on hand and just use the card stock that I give them. Or they have the option of adding on the bundle, and what I do, they only pay the actual price of the bundle. I pay the shipping and tax that Stampin' Up! Charges. So for $55.75, that's the price of the bundle, they'll get the stamp set and the dies. So it's two sheets of them. So that's for the $55.75. So $43.50 for the base kit, and then they have the option of adding on the bundle, and that's $55.75. So I always have a feature bundle that they have the option to do that. But like I said, this is optional. They do not have to do this. They can substitute something else, and they may already own this, so they can use that. So that is how Club works. And you can get all of the information by looking down in the video description below. Click on the monthly online card club link down there. You'll see all the information because I probably missed a few things because that $43.50 also includes shipping for me to ship all the packet to you. So that's all you pay is the $43.50 a month. But you can get all that information by clicking that link down below. And when you go to that page, after you look over everything, if you want to sign up, there's a subscribe button. Once you subscribe and if you want to get that add-on, then make sure you scroll down a little farther and do the add-on. And if you want to get the Memorable Blooms club, you're going to have to subscribe by February 15th. I'm running behind. I'm catching up, but still running way behind after being sick all last month. So you've only got a few days to be able to subscribe. So make sure you get that done by February 15th in order to get this. If you subscribe after the 15th, then you'll be subscribed. You'll start in March. Okay, I'm going to grab the cards quick because I do like to show all of the cards. So this is one card here that they're going to do in club. This is the other one. I love the purples in this one. With this paper, you've got so many different color combos you can go with. This one. And this is the one that I'm going to teach here in just a minute. So this is the first card. So I'm going to put these over to the side. So what I'm going to do from here on out, this video is going to be just like the exclusive video my club members get. Oh yeah, they do get an exclusive video for the last 3 cards in club. But this is going to give you a taste on how the video goes when they subscribe. Okay, let's get started. Okay, guys, it's time to get started with the first card. So what you're going to do, go to the PDF that you received in the email. Go to the card number 1 page, get all of your supplies together, and come back and make this card with me. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first off, I want to show you what you need to get out if you're using the Memorable Blooms bundle. You're going to need the big flower stamp and the little one, and you're going to need the thanks so much. And then with the dies, you're going to need this large one here to die cut the big flowers, and we need the big one of these, this die right here. And those are all the dies that you're going to need. Okay, now we need to cut our DSP. So we need to find the sheet that looks like this. You just need this one because we're going to use both sides. So this is what the other side looks like. So that's the one we want. Now the nice thing about being in club, since you're getting a half pack of the paper, you can use whatever design you want. You do not have to do the one that I picked out. This is the one I'm using. So we need a 2 by 5 1/4 and a 4 by 1. So let's go ahead and do 2 inches. Actually, let's go to 4 inches. Let's just do 4 inches here. We're going to do something different. Let's do 4 inches. And then let's do 5 1/4. There's the 5 1/4. Now this one we can just cut in half because we need a 2 by 5 1/4. So now I've got both of them covered, both my cards, but I'm only going to need one for right now. Then with this one, this is already the 4 inches. So we need to do a 1 inch piece. And this is the one we're going to use this side. And then if you're going to do your second card, you can go ahead and get another 1 inch piece out of this. Okay, we're not going to be using any of the ribbon on this one because there is no yellow in that paper. So we are ready to start on this card. So let's get some stamping done. Okay, first off, I want you to grab that half sheet that's in your paper. Always, if there's some stamping with images, a lot of times I'll just put a half sheet in. That's plenty for both your cards, and you'll probably have some extra. So on this one, I'm going to grab the big floral stamp and my tuxedo black memento. And all those ink pads that we're using on this card are listed in that PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this here in the corner. Hold that down for a few seconds. I always hold it down for a few seconds. That way that ink soaks in and get a better image. And then on this piece, the last thing we need to do is the thanks so much. I'm going to use Melon Mambo. And I think I'll just stamp this one right above this one here. Okay, I do need to keep the Melon Mambo out, but this is all we need to do with this sheet. Now grab the inside of the card. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. I'm going to need to clean this off quick because now we're going to stamp it in Melon Mambo. Since let's get a little more black off of here. There we go. So now I'll ink this up with the Melon Mambo. And I'm only going to stamp a partial right here, kind of angle it a little bit. And that'll be the inside of the card. So we're done with this. Now you need to get the Coastal Cabana piece that's in there. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. Let me get this closed up. Now I want to get that smaller flower stamp and Coastal Cabana. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stamp. And I kind of like the large flower on top. I'm going to kind of put this up here in the top right corner. So it's just almost like a watermark. So I'm doing it with the coastal, it's the same ink color as the paper. Now with them actually kind of like this, almost about the same way. The top one is still, the big one's on top. I'm just going to stamp this here in the bottom corner straight this time. That one I kind of angled it. That one is going to look like that. I know it looks a little funny, but it'll look good once we start putting it together. Okay. Oh, let's grab that big sheet. I was going to have a die cut, but we don't want to do that yet. So let's grab this because we have some coloring to do. All the stamping is done though, so I'm going to get my Stampin' Pierce mat out of the way. I'm going to keep my grid paper underneath though. So I'm going to grab Melon Mambo Stampin' Blends. I always start with the dark color. You do whichever way you like doing best. But what I'm going to do in the center parts of all the flowers, and I'm kind of making little strokes. I'm using a very light touch. I like using the brush tip. Some people like using the smaller tip, and that is fine. Use whichever one you want. But when I use my brush tip, I just use a lighter touch. And a lot of times you do want to put a couple layers on to get it good and dark. And then these little ones, I'm just kind of coloring those in just a little bit too. So just a little bit in the center of the little ones. And the bigger ones, you make sure you get on the petals and stuff and get that center good and dark. So I'm going to do that with all of the flowers. Oh, and there are also some little partials here. Just put a little bit of the dark here at the bottom, like so. So here's another one that's a little half one. So I'm just going to put a little bit here at the bottom. So I'm going to finish up with the dark Melon Mambo. Okay, I think that's it. If you notice, I made sure all these are kind of jagged lines. You don't want it to look perfectly curved because the flowers don't look like that. Now I'm going to bring in my light Melon Mambo. And you just color in the rest of the flower. So I'll go ahead and color this one in. And then we'll start blending. Sometimes you don't have to blend because sometimes the shades are super close together. And if you blend it, kind of blend too much and you can't tell the difference. But with this one, if I remember right, this is a little bit dark, too dark in between here. I want it to be gradual. So where those two colors meet, I'm just kind of pulling some of the dark up into the light, just going over it a little bit. And that's going to lighten that up with this alcohol that's in here. It helps them blend. Do it up here. Sometimes you might even want to just do one coat on all of them first, then go back. Because once it dries, sometimes it lightens up. I'm going to just wait a second. I can tell that dark's just a little bit too dark still, so I'm going to blend those together. Like so. Just do the same thing with all of these. Color the whole petal, all the petals in, and then blend them up a little bit. So I'll do that with all the rest of the flowers. Okay, I think I have them all done. So the flowers are all done. So I get the Melon Mambo out of the way. Always make sure you hear that little tick or click when you close these. Being alcohol-based, you definitely want to get those closed good so they don't dry out. So I'm going to grab Lost Lagoon. This is actually not one of the colors that are included in the paper, but it goes really good with the Coastal Cabana. I didn't want to do the Shy Shamrock on this one. Most of them, the leaves are doing the Shy Shamrock on the cards. This one, I kind of wanted to go with the Coastal Cabana a little more, and we don't have Coastal Cabana, but this one works good. I'm going to take the dark Lost Lagoon, and I'm going to go right along that line there, and then kind of darken it up down here at the bottom, like so. These medium-sized leaves kind of do the same thing. Go up a little bit in that center line, and then color the bottoms. So I'll do that again. I'm just mainly doing the bottoms with the other leaves. The bigger ones are the ones I go up the line. And as some of these are so small, I'm not going to worry about putting any dark because you really can't tell the difference. So here's another big one. So I'm going to go up the line and then just darken the bottom just a little bit with the dark. So that's how I'm going to do all the leaves. Okay, I think I've got all the dark done. And if you notice, there are a couple that don't have any lines, but they're still big enough that you can do two shades. These real little ones, like I said, I'm not going to worry about doing those with two shades. So on the ones without lines, I just put a little bit there on the bottom, the base of the leaf. Now I'm going to grab my light Lost Lagoon. And then do the same thing I did with the flowers. I'm going to color in the rest of the leaf. Going over the dark a little bit, but more going just around the whole thing, just coloring the rest of it. Then I can tell that that dark is still too dark. So I'm going where those two blend, or meet, the two shades, and go over it with light, and that helps it blend again. So do the same thing here, and color the rest of that leaf in, like so. And then I can tell I need to blend it a little bit, so blend where those two shades come together. And I've got a little leaf here and a little leaf here. So you just keep coloring all of the leaves in just like that. Okay, looks like I'm all done coloring. So we're done with stamping and coloring, so now let's get the die cutting machine out. Okay, if you've got our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, to get ready for die cutting, use the base platform number 1, a die plate number 2, and a standard cutting plate number 3. I think first off I'm going to grab that half sheet and get the die that die cuts those flowers out. And the way our dies work, you just make sure that image completely fills in that open area of the die. And also there's this little bitty hole down here. You want to make sure that you see black there, because that's what the stem, you want to make that makes you know the stem is in there right. But mainly look at your flowers, get those all lined up. Then you can kind of look down, and if you see some black, then you know you're good. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to use some of this tape. This is Post-it tape. You can use Post-it notes too, and just use the adhesive part of them. That'll hold the die in place when I put another standard cutting plate right on top. Pull this out a little bit here. Then you run it through. And the Post-it tape comes off really nice and doesn't tear up the cardstock. And there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. This set is so pretty. So now I'm going to put this to the side. And we want to grab a square piece of basic white. This is a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch piece. And then you grab this one here. Just put it near the center. It doesn't have to be. If you want to keep this piece as a negative for like a window, then you might want to put tape on it. But since I can kind of tell it's right there in the middle, I'm going to slowly put this on. And if I don't see the die move, I'm good. That looks good. I'm just holding this down until it gets under here. Then I know the die is not going to move. And the neat thing with this die, I love this die. You get 2 pieces you can keep. So I could keep this. And I even do that on that Blackberry Bliss. So my club members will see how I did it with that. But isn't that neat? It makes a nice little window with a neat border. And then, but this is the piece that I'm going to need for the card. So you want to keep this one. Okay, we are all done die cutting. So let's put this away and finish the card. Okay, let's go ahead and get all the cutting type stuff done. So this, thanks so much. I was going to put it in a rectangle. It just didn't look right. So I'm going to do something I've started doing a little more lately. I think I'll just cut just to get this big piece out of the way. So you can tell they've got so much cardstock left for their second card. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go close to the so much. And then when the trick with cutting, you don't move the scissors that much. When you start to do a turn, if you want more of a curve, then you move the paper and slowly bring the scissors closed to cut. If you have the scissors do the curving, a lot of times you'll get more of a choppy look. Sometimes I still have to go in and fix it, but if you make the paper do most of the moving, it usually does a lot better. So I'm just going to keep going around. Just not going to be perfect with cutting it out. Like that one, I got a little closer to the L, but I'm okay with that. I've learned not to fret over it too much. I used to worry about it too much, like, oh, is this going to look right? And it always looks fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. So like I said, I'm still moving that paper. Every once in a while, I'll always stop and open my scissors up again, though, so they can keep cutting. Slowly go around there. There we go. So that's what the thanks so much. Look close to that when you're done cutting it. Okay, let's grab the card base. This is a piece of Melon Mambo, 8.5 by 5. 5.5 by 8.5. and grab my bone folder. The trick to getting it right in half, fold it right in half, is line up those corners. I don't even bother to look at the straight edges. I just look at the corners, and I get it folded really good every time. Now I'm going to grab this Coastal Cabana. This is one that we stamped a couple flowers on. Now I want to grab that DSP that we cut out. So let's grab this one and this one. We'll put this one on first. So I'm going to grab my seal. So this one is the 2 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And it's going to go here along the left side, but I'm going to leave a little Coastal Cabana showing. So I'm lining this short end with the bottom edge of the Coastal Cabana piece, slowly bringing this up to keep it straight. And that looks, I'm kind of looking at this narrow section here. Now it looks like I might have cut that a little bit too long. I did, so I'm just going to turn it over. Put my scissors right up against that cardstock because that's like a guide. And that cuts off that little bit that's hanging over. Now I'm going to grab this. This is that 4 by 1 inch piece. Get some seal on it. And it's going to go right across here. I'm going to cover up the very tip top of these flowers because I just kind of like having these look like they're coming out from underneath that strip. So this left end is right up against the left edge of the Coastal Cabana cardstock piece. And this goes right across. Kind of looking at this, that looks pretty straight. Looks like I cut it a little too long again. Could be I cut the Coastal Cabana a little narrower. Who knows? But it wasn't that big a difference. Okay, I'm not putting any ribbon on this, so we can go ahead and put this on the card base. Let's go ahead and do this. Then while we're at it, we might as well put the inside of the card in too. So let's put this on the center here. I'm going to grab my inside piece that we stamped earlier. Put that adhesive on there. Just put it right there in the middle of the inside. I always like to decorate the inside of my cards. There we go. Now, let's grab this, the flowers, and this. Let's go ahead and put this piece on first. Let's turn this over. There is a right or wrong side. You'll be able to tell. The stitching part looks a lot better on this side than it does this side. So I know this is my back. So this is kind of it's going to be kind of centered left and right, maybe a little more over to the right because I kind of like showing as much of that pretty DSP as we can. Actually, you do want to put it over a little bit. So this is going to be a little narrow. You can tell it's a little bit farther here because we're going to be putting the flowers on there too. That kind of helps. But like I said, I still like seeing that paper a little better. So that looks pretty good. I'm just going to lay it there. I'm not going to push it down in case I want to move it. Now I'm going to put these on. You can do these with dimensionals, but I decided I kind of like the thanks so much popped up more. But you can do whichever way you want to do it, whichever way you think looks good, because I kept going back and forth. I couldn't decide. So this one I'm going to kind of angle this way, kind of like having that little flower over this white piece, the leaves coming over. I kind of like having, when I have a die cut, I like it to hang over whatever it's on. I just think it looks neat that way. So I'm just going to leave it laying there for right now. I'm going to take this, turn this over, grab some Stampin' Dimensionals, put one right here. And I did, because I was going to put one just right in the center, but I knew it was going to wobble. So you know what? Just so I don't waste anything, I'm going to use one of these half ones. I always use up all of my dimensionals. And we'll just put this half one over here. And that'll help it prevent it from wobbling. I'm going to take the paper backings off, like so. And this is just going to go right here. Make sure the so much looks straight. I'm going to lay it down. Okay, I like the look of all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and push it all down. And I just liked having the flowers. See, I knew that looked a little funny when we first stamped it, but I just got a little flower peeking out over here and one peeking out from down here. So just kind of made it so the Coastal Cabana wasn't all plain. Okay, now we need to put the bling on. So grab your iridescent faceted gems. And I use 2 of each size. They're large and small. So I'm going to grab a large one. And I think I'm going to put it about right here. And a small one right next to it. Then I'm going to grab another large one and put it up here. And a small one. And let's put it about right here. Okay, that is the first card for Club. So I hope you liked that one. Now, if you are one of my card club members, then go to the PDF and go to the exclusive video link, click on that, and you can make the rest of your cards. Now, if you are not part of my club but would like to be, make sure you click that monthly online card club link that's down below in the video description. You can get all the information there, the $43.50 a month. I've showed you everything that you get this month, and you can go to the beginning of the video if you want to. I've put chapters in this video so you can jump back to that chapter if you want to see everything you get again. And if you have any questions, just click the contact me link below you see in the video description. I'd be happy to answer your questions for you. But most of the information is there on that monthly online card club page. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the club video. And if you live in, and also if you're a member of my club, if you don't already have the catalogs, I will mail those out to you when you join. And as long as you're in club, you automatically, I have Stampin' Up! Mail out the new catalogs to you as soon as they come out. So that's another perk for being in club. But if you live in the United States and don't have a demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours. And just click my contact me link that's down below. Give me your mailing address, and I'll mail out the current annual catalog, the January to April mini, and Sale-A-Bration. Celebration's going on right now. For every $60 you place on an order before shipping and tax, you get to pick out something free out of this. And there's some new products from the annual catalog and the mini, actually a couple from the mini also, that you can pick out for free that are really good deals. So I have a Sale-A-Bration page. Click on that Sale-A-Bration page below, and you can get all the information there. Okay, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and have a good day. Bye.